What's going on, you guys? We're hanging out here in my awesome studio. I'm hanging here with Trevor Hunter. We're going to be talking today about the 2023 NGPC series. We're really stoked to get this thing kicked off. Trevor Hunter, okay, this guy has probably raced every NGPC series where it's ever been, maybe except Idaho. But Trevor, I'm stoked to have you in studio today. You know the riders probably as well as I do, and you're one of the racers. So
yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you want to, maybe introduce who you are and what you do.
I'm kind of a big deal, I say so myself, but yeah, I've grown up racing this Big Six and District 7 and kind of race the pro class. Not a winner, but kind of on the outside of the top 10 looking in. So hopefully I'll be in there myself. But yeah, I'm looking forward to breaking down all the pro classes today.
He's a little modest, a little shy about what he's done. He's got a podium in the Pro 250 class. He's won the 24-hour. I think you've won it in a class as well, not just overall, correct?
Yep.
So, I mean, he's a 3-time Best in the Desert champion. I mean,
huge deal. Big
deal. But no, but honestly, really stoked to have you here. We're going to do a little recap on last year and then kind of jump right into 2023. Obviously, shooting straight to the pro class. I mean, it wasn't really a surprise to me seeing Dante get that championship again. This is third in a row. I mean, he really just dominated. He won 6 races last year.
Yeah. He put a beating on them pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't like he wasn't ever contested for it. Like, he had to come through the pack in a few of the races, but when you're a champion and you've won a few times, and there's nothing else except winning.
Yeah.
And Red Bull KTM really has signed the right guys, actually signed the right brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, they got Mateo on board in the 450 class and the factory team for this year. And obviously Dante's proven himself over the last 3 years being the champion. And then you got Mateo, the younger brother, the 250 champion. He's moving up and maybe the brothers battling for the win this year.
That'll be really cool to see. It's something I heard from Dante at the last Havasu round. I asked him, I said, hey, so, how's it riding with your younger brother during the week? Because he had been riding the 450. And he goes, Mateo lays it down during the week and I got to pick it back up because I can't have the little guy beating me right now. And to be honest with you, he's going to be a huge threat. We can just kind of go right into that. He's going to be a big threat next year. He might be one of Dante's, biggest competitors.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they ride together, train together every single day, so they're just pushing each other that much harder. He doesn't want to be in the shadow of Dante, so I know he's working hard to get himself in that top step. And yeah, I think he's got a really good shot at least winning a race, if not contending for that championship.
Absolutely, he's going to be contending for that championship. I would not doubt that we see him. Well, we already did. We saw him on the podium at Havasu. So I wouldn't doubt that we see him back there on the podium. He really was pushing Walton there for a bit, man. He really was hounding Walton down. Super stoked. And, one cool thing about Mateo and like the way his program, both these brothers' programs were, they came up through the RPM KTM group, which you guys will see out there this year. They recently signed Jake Alvarez and Tristan Alvarez.
Yep.
And then obviously Caitlin Jacobs is their pro woman rider. It's a really neat program. It's been around for years. I mean, I remember the days when Brendan Ritzman was their lead rider, and to still see them there. I believe it's Mike Hubert, right?
Yeah, Mike Herbert.
He's been around for so long. It's really neat to see that program.
Yeah, and they've developed a lot of talent through the years. Cody Webb, Dante, Mateo, Tristan Hart, like all these guys, the Reardon brothers who are on the East Coast now. Like pretty much almost everyone that goes through that program seems to make it to that factory level and win races and championships.
And they truly shine. I mean, that's what, and he's really good at picking the riders, and it's really awesome to see. And, next year we're going to see the Alvarez brothers, Jacob on the Pro 250 and Tristan riding that 125A. But jumping back to our 450 guys, with the Oliveira brothers, we'll see where they end up. I look to see those Red Bull KTMs really sweeping the podiums this year, or being on the podium at every round, if not Dante Mateo. But this guy that ended up second in points, I feel he came on super strong later in the year. He was always right there. I mean, he started off the year 2-2 last year, but he kind of veered away, and then he came back super strong. I'm talking about the Rockstar Husky of Austin Walton. Motocross guy.
Yep.
He was Supercross. You know, he would be lining up right now at A1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, he's been really impressive in his kind of shorter off-road career, I'd say. Starting on that Three Bros Hatch Husqvarna team a few years back, and then getting called up to that factory team, and he's delivered a lot of podiums. I mean, he's on the podium just about every race, it seems like, and last year was, I think, the first year he didn't get a win in, but he was so close so many times. You know, it's got to be coming this year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know this guy wants to win. I just saw him down at Husky the other day, and when you look at someone, you see it in their face, and they want to win. Yeah. He wants to win. He's dedicated to his craft. He's dedicated to getting that bike set up. I know his boss pretty well, Anthony DiBasilio, and I know Anthony is doing the right things for him. I know he can talk to him, level head. He's, dude, he was Kirk Caselli's mechanic.
Yeah, he's been through it all.
He's been through it all. So it's really cool to see his program coming together. It looks like he's figured it out. And, something about Walton is he's a bigger dude.
Yeah.
If you go up to him, that dude's a husky guy.
Yeah.
And that could play into some of the advantage in some of these, longer and more aggressive races.
Yeah. No, and you can see it in his riding. A lot of times it seems like the last few laps is where he really picks up steam and kind of comes through the pack, and he's always pushing that last corner, that checkered flag, and he's always right there.
Always there. He leaves it all on the track. I've heard him say that a few times. It's really cool. Yeah. And I look forward to seeing Walton really progress again throughout the season. I mean, he almost won a few races in NGPC. I think he pulled off a works win last year.
If I remember, I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah. I think there was more winners at Works than there was at NGPC last year, which that's just weird things happen, right? Yeah. I look forward to seeing Walton. Really, that Austrian brand's really going to be hard to beat. But if anyone's going to stop him, it's going to be this guy in third that got third in points last year, and that's the SLR Honda of Cole Martinez.
Yeah. Now he's, once again, really impressive. Last year and a half, I think he's really stepped it up and taken that next level where he's kind of not necessarily on Dante's level all the time, but every once in a while he can challenge, and now every single race he's right there.
He's right there. I mean, dude, okay, so let's take it back to round 3 last year at Glen Helen. Prairie Dogs, if there was a track in a race that was probably the most remembrance from last year, it had to be that race. Yeah. That race came down to literally the last lap. Cole Martinez leads it out on the last lap. We're all in anticipation, waiting for the guys to come back. And we had the course come out, and they came out of REM.
Yep.
We could see over where I was in the announcer tower, I could see into REM. And I'm just waiting there, and dude, when I saw Dante's bike, I freaked out, because that was, even going into the pit lanes, they're on each other.
Yeah.
And both teams just so that had to, this guy can do it.
Yeah, no, and it's cool. It's him and Dante and Austin. They all have a lot of respect for each other. Mm-hmm. They all say, he rode better than me today, or this. They're not afraid to give them kudos, and it's pretty cool that they're all that close, that fast, and they're still like that much respect for each other too.
Yeah, lots of respect for all these guys, and something that I do want to make note of is Cole he won 2 races last year. I know that was like a hard push for him to get. He got his first win a year or 2 ago, I believe, but to do 2 in one season, now it's about getting in there and winning 2 or 3, but making it more consistent as far as getting on that podium, staying in the fight. Yeah. If you guys don't know, those AMA points, there isn't really leniency if you fall off the podium.
Yeah.
If you get off the podium, you're climbing. You better hope that you're winning more than 2 races.
Yeah. No, it's definitely podiums are big and wins are big too. I mean, that's a big 5-point gap from first to second. That's a big.
It's huge.
If you're winning 6-7 races like Dante, it's tough to overcome unless you're right there and knock them down every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not on like the Supercross points paying system where, you know, minus 3 points. I mean, okay, we'll get those 3 points throughout the year. 5 points, dude. Like, I always knew when I was racing Heron Hounds and I got second and that guy got first, I had to win because those 5 points, I mean, they come back, they come to haunt you. And clearly we saw once Dante kind of got on the roll last year, it was pretty much over.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say about Shamrocks, maybe the race in May, it was over.
Yeah, no, this is tough. It'd be tough to overcome that after that summer break, and there's not that many races either. Really, I mean, 10 races. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much to make up points.
And if you're not in the mix in those top 3 races, you better just hope something happens because it's really tight. Moving on here, wow, a kid that's impressed. Super impressive to see how much growth he's had the last few years. I know this kid was found, as Dallas likes to say, he found this kid. It's his kid, which, you know, major kudos to Dallas and what he did bringing him up. But I got to say, you know, Tyler Lynn has really, really shined, and I look forward to seeing him actually take that next leap at being on the podium more consistently. He did get that podium at Works. I don't think he landed on the podium at Big Six, but he did.
He did in Preston.
In Preston, yeah, that's right, he did. So, okay, he knows he can do it. The Precision Concepts Kawasaki, not our Pro Circuit.
Pro Circuit.
Not Pro Circuit, but hey, they use Pro Circuit pipes, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, PC Cowie, really cool, neat program. Another neat thing about that program is you got Robbie Bell and you got Zach Bell now. And I've heard a lot of things with Zach. I talked to Robbie just minute at the last race. Actually, in Blythe, we talked a little bit about Zach. Had to ask him what's going on. We haven't heard from him. He's kind of been in the dark.
Yep.
And I basically said he's riding. To me, it sounds like he's closet training, and he wants to come back swinging for 2023.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, kind of the last time we really saw him race was Prairie Dogs 2021 when he won. And then after that, he kind of got hurt. And then it's been injury after injury, and we haven't seen him since. So he did an SRA a couple months ago, and I think it was right when he started riding again. So he probably wasn't anywhere near 100%, but he looked okay. And then he did like 1 or 2 Big Sixes, like a plus 25 class, and should get some seat time. But it'll be interesting to see come Delano how he stacks up in an hour and a half.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest hurdle is, can the body take it? Can the wrist take it? Can the knee take it? The whole thing. I mean, it's a game. It's really a game, and you really have to work hard for it. It's just hopefully we get to see Zach back to his, where he was, because he's another contender who literally can hang it out, hang with Dante, hang with Cole, hang with the boys, hang with Austin Wall. I mean, all these guys, they hang it out. It's good for the series. Yeah. And it's really good to see. But Tyler Lynn, strong 4th place last year. Look forward to seeing the kid really put some work in. And, he could be a dark horse in this series, honestly, if he puts it together.
Yeah, no, I think too is kind of like Austin. His second half of the races were really strong at the end of last year, but kind of that first half where he lost the toe and would struggle a little bit. So if he can figure out that first half, he'll be right in the mix.
And I really think it was. I know because obviously I was watching Instagram like an eye last year. He was testing a lot. Yeah. Sorry, he was testing a lot. A crap ton, and easy with that smile, big cat. So I know for a fact that's where they're at. Obviously, we see it a lot with the KTM and Husky guys in Supercross and Motocross. The number one thing has been the bike. Yeah. So hopefully they figured it out. Looks like it because he's ripping. Yeah. He's back to his ripping self, and So real quick, Dare DeMartell here. Before we get into Factory Beta guy's an interesting character. Okay, he's a really nice guy. Kind of came out of nowhere. When I say interesting character, that's what I mean. Kind of just came out of nowhere. Yeah. First time I ever saw him, 2-stroke national. He wasn't riding a beta yet though. He was riding something else, I forget. And he waxed everybody. I mean, when I say waxed, he waxed everyone. And I thought it was the guy. There's another D Martell, okay, but it's not him.
It's not him.
So I'm thinking, gosh, it's this old dirty guy. You know, and he pulls his helmet off. I'm like, well, that's a kid. Like that guy's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. Like no way.
Yeah.
But he waxed like a lessee that day, and like this. So what I'm getting at is raw speed for Dare is there. I don't know if you saw, but did you see the video, or did you see him jump that out of the pits at Havasu?
No, I did not. He double over the berm.
Oh my gosh, Batman!
Big.
Dude, I'm sitting there, taking pictures of the guys coming through the pits, and I just so happened to see, him go super wide. I'm like, well, what is he doing? He sets up and just hogs that bike and jumps, and just boom, lands on top, and really cool guy. He's got the moto background. Yeah. You can see that obviously with how he does cool things like that. But you got some insight on him?
I've got none. I mean, I've never talked to him, but obviously a really good rider. We're supercross and everything, and that's kind of like Austin. Like his second half of the year last year got much better, and he was right there for podiums. Like he got a couple seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
Close to wins. Like he's made a lot of improvements.
Poor guy. He got one taken away from him at Viewfinders there. He did get second, right? But that was kind of an unfortunate thing. He jumped over the pits. I'm supposed to do that. Typically, you would be okay with doing that now since the rules changed. But for whatever reason, last year the Viewfinders had something going on.
Yeah.
Right? For whatever reason, just got caught up in the wrong thing. But so look for him on that factory beta. It's an interesting bike. It's probably one of the most unique bikes on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been told it's kind of like the Ferrari of dirt bikes. So it's pretty cool.
Oh wow!
Pretty cool.
Who told you that one?
I don't know. I can't remember, but it's pretty interesting.
The Ferrari. I mean, it is pretty red.
It is red,
and it looks pretty bad. Ass.
I think they look cool.
Yeah.
I mean, performance-wise, I've never really ridden 4-strokes. I couldn't say, but looks-wise, I think they look all right.
You're a dirt bike test guy, and you haven't ridden a beta?
Not a 4-stroke.
Oh,
just a 2-stroke. 2-strokes are good.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to hit up Rodney Smith and see if we can get on that beta. There we go. Yeah. So, right. Oh shoot. Moving along here, we're gonna go about four more of these guys. Mr. Diversity here.
Yes.
Another guy that came through a Husky program was Factory Rockstar Husky. Well, let's go back. He came through Zip Tie Racing.
Yep.
Got a Factory Rockstar ride. Lost the Factory Rockstar ride, but didn't really lose his contract.
Yeah.
He just moved the contract to a satellite team with Three Brothers Hatch Racing. Finally, man, I did an interview with this guy at Blythe, and I just basically said, this is what I basically asked the question. I said, I went back east last week, saw all these GNCC guys, 3 or 4 Huskies, I believe. I think 2 of them didn't even finish.
Yeah.
One of them just was riding around, and then I see you. You win a championship.
Yeah.
You're contesting for a race win at an NGPC. You're always there in the top 5.
Yeah. It's racing every single weekend.
Racing every weekend. It should be a huge advocate for Factory Husqvarna.
Yeah.
And you don't have a ride, like a real ride.
Yeah.
You're not with the factory. And you know what? He gave me an honest answer, and I gotta say that is a lot of respect for him. So I'm talking about Dalton Shirey. Dalton. I mean, you guys kind of same age-ish group, right?
Yeah. He's a little, like a year or 2 older than me, but I was always kind of like that next class down from him. But yeah, he's got tons of talent, tons of speed. He's putting in the work right now, and it's showing on the results.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the reigning National Hare and Hound champion. He already won one National Hare and Hound championship. He's got this second one wrapped up, and I really know, I've talked to him multiple times, he really wants to do this NGPC stuff.
Yeah.
he doesn't want to just be known for winning a Hare and Hound Championship. He wants to be known for winning these races too.
Yep.
And a few years ago, it looked like he was going to do that.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago that him and Trevor Stewart were the guys battling for wins every weekend, and yeah, he's got the speed for sure, and just got to kind of mentally, I think, just put it together. And
right here,
he had like 29 palms last year. Great example. He almost won it. He's so close.
So close. Last lap, another tight race that came down to the last lap, and SLR Honda, Cole Martinez, we've already talked about him. He gets that win out. He gets the win from him. But that right there, Dalton, take that with a grain of salt and just, dude, work on that. You have the speed. You have what it takes. I tell him all the time. I always have to text him. Just be like, dude, just remember who you are, bro. You can do these things. You're freaking Dalton Shirey, and you're crushing it. And and that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. Again, he's on Factory Rockstar Husky this year.
Yeah.
And he's going to be racing NGPC, National Hare and Hound, and he's doing some select races. I know he's going to do some Best in the Desert stuff. We'll see, because there's a lot of conflicting events now I saw on the schedule board.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, like, I know last year, the factory program might change it, but last year, who's racing literally every single weekend was Hare Scrambles, Hare and Hound, NGPC, Works, like, REM, any chance he could, he's racing one, even 2 times a weekend. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. He was going from one race. Dude, I think I saw him. What did he do? He did one race and then drove all night.
Did Tonopah one day, won it, and then drove all the way to basically the Canadian border to race the Hare Scrambles the very next day.
I mean, and hopefully someone was with him, right?
He had one person with him, but
I hope
not enough.
Not enough, yeah, because that one person ain't making it that far.
Yeah.
So look for Dalton. We're hoping to see Dalton in the mix. He's really going to shine towards the drier rounds, the hard packed rounds.
Yeah.
He's really good. Don't get me wrong. He's really good in the ruts and stuff like that. He trains out in Palmdale. Trains on all of Caselli's old stuff. I've freaking rode with him, and he's amazing. I just wish he would believe in himself a little bit more, because I think he can really shine some light on these guys.
Yeah.
Moving along here, another guy switching to another team for next year. Justin Heft, pro motocross guy, pro supercross guy. Really interesting story with the Heft family. Obviously, they lost the younger brother at a Texas National not that long ago. Didn't really see him. He was a part of that TLD KTM program at a young age. They kind of just stopped racing.
Yep.
I mean, when something like that happens, you would hope it's understandable, right? He kind of fell off the face of the earth, and then just gradually came back to racing motorcycles.
Yeah. No, he went back to Supercross and everything, gave that a shot, and I think it's cool he's kind of transitioning to off-road full-time, and he's kind of making the most of it. He's got tons of talent. His riding style and technique is one of, if not the best out there. I mean, can't get a bad video or picture of the guy. Like, he's just perfect at all times. He's perfect at all times.
I swear, him and Trevor Stewart just have this, best way to put it, luscious style.
Yes.
I mean, with things that Trevor posts on Instagram, I think luscious is a small word compared to what I see on there. Love him to death, but that's some fun stuff. Now, Heft looks good. He looks informed. Looking forward to seeing what he does. New deal for him this year.
Yeah, he's going blue.
Going blue. He's going to be on that Ron Purvine's Yamaha.
Yep.
And now, fill me in on Purvine's. What are they? Are they getting some help this year? Or do we know?
Don't know.
Really?
Don't know.
You're Blue Crew.
I'm Blue Crew. I don't know if they're Blue Crew or not.
Oh.
We'll see.
Oh, okay. So, the last we've heard some rumors that maybe they're going to get some support. We'll see. I guess we'll know here shortly. Now, do you think they're going to show up on the 2022s? I would hope so, right?
I know there's some 23s around there, but I don't know who's riding what, or I don't know what the deal is. But I know some might be in old bikes, the new bikes. I don't know entirely, but I'd imagine they'd probably be on the old bikes for now, just because they're set up and ready and they have all the parts for them.
Tanks, parts. I mean, it'd be hard to go and just be really good at the first round with no time on the bike.
Yeah.
Honestly, these guys are probably going to struggle until midway through the year because this new bike is not like the old bike.
Yeah, it's very different.
Very, very different. Frame characteristics, they're similar in a way, but the difference is very, I want to say it's in the motor a little bit.
Yes.
The power deliverance right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes from, roll-on power to mid, and it bites at the mid. A lot to do with suspension, different offsets. I mean, dude, this bike is different.
Yeah, it's all new. So it'll be interesting to see how it translates to off-road, and could it be good? Could it be bad? Just don't really know yet.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That front fender's got me in a whirlwind right now. But yeah, look for Heft. Giacomo Redondi coming in 8th. I don't really have much to say about Redondi. I don't really know him that well. I know he's doing his own deal. He's doing Gas though again. A guy that's won the championship in another with Works kind of fell off. He broke both his feet, which that's hard to come back from. Just your 5 to 7 guy, right?
Yeah, I think he's kind of that top 5, top 10 guy on the right day, get a podium. I mean, the guy's a beast. He's big. He rides the bike hard and gives all his effort. Just his class is fast, and he's had some injuries that I think kind of set him back. And I mean, yeah, it's tough to come back from what he's had to deal with.
Yeah, and this guy's a world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a junior world champion, and he's a world champion in World Enduro.
Yeah.
And they took that series away. They brought it back.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so they took it away, they brought it back. Now, do you want to go back and race World Enduro? What I find so awesome is he wants to be a racer here in America. He doesn't want to go back home because he's already done it.
Yeah.
He wants his championship here. So he looks good, though. I've been seeing some Instagrams lately. It looks like he's found that speed again.
Yeah. No, he's always looked good, and rides the bike hard. Got some cool training loops, it looks like, out by Elsinore and everything. Like, a little jealous not riding there, but yeah, no, he's a very nice guy too. Like, just European, just super nice, grateful to be here, and yeah, it'd be cool to see him do some damage.
Coming in 9th last year, another guy that if he puts a season together, could really do it, and that's Trevor Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Provides Yamahas. It's going to be his 2nd year on the team. Got a win last year in Works. Really never. Well, Ridgecrest was going to be a breakout ride.
He had it.
I think that was going to be a breakout ride.
Yep.
I talked to him a little bit after that. Gnarly get off. It sounds like he's okay, obviously. But yeah, he's a 2-time champion of this series, and unfortunately, he gets a ninth in the series. But this is a guy that can win on any given weekend if he just shows up to win.
Yeah, and he's plenty of talent. He's like we said, one of those guys that just too much talent. He knows what to deal with. I think he's putting in the work right now, and could be on that new Yamaha, could not be. Like, we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that works out, and yeah, he can easily win any race he shows up for, without a doubt.
Without a doubt, and the one thing about this guy is what's crazy is he can go and be in the top 3 here, and make it look effortlessly.
Yep.
And then we can go to the Glen Helen track on a pro day, and he can go out there and hang with some of the best dudes in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy to me is this guy has so much talent, and it's just he can do both.
Yeah.
He could really do both, and I really hope to see him back at the front.
Yeah, no, he's capable. I think it's coming. He lost one at Ridgecrest. He had it, and I think his time's due. He'll get one.
He'll get one, by the end of the year. Wrapping this up here with our 10th place guy, another SLR Honda, a guy that's really come on strong lately. Talon LaFontaine, SLR Honda, Mark Samuels, racing guy.
Yeah.
Basically picked a guy out of the hat. 2-time 250 champion?
Yep.
2-time 250 champion. Another guy that's just got a lot of talent on a dirt bike.
Yeah, he's raced Supercross forever. Started racing off-road, kind of dabbled in it before moving full-time with SLR, and the 250 success was there, and then the 450 is kind of derailed by injuries early on, but that last half of the year, he kind of proved what he's capable of.
Absolutely. He's really strong on a 450. I think his style has always been the 450. I remember watching him ride. I don't know if you ever saw that freaking Suzuki.
Yes.
You remember that thing? Holy smokes, that thing. He always been really good, very strong on the dirt bike. It's should be really cool to see where he ends up this year. I believe he landed on the podium. Yeah, he did. He landed on the podium at Blythe, and he looked really strong the whole race. And I know that shoulder's been an issue this year, but when you saw him at Blythe, I gotta say, he looked like he fit right in.
Yeah, nice. He's a bigger guy too, so I think that 450 suits him well, and he's like a smoother kind of rider, not super aggressive, and just kind of finds the flow around the track, and I think that's kind of where that 450 class suits him.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing where Talon LaFontaine ends up on the SLR Honda. Mark Samuels really knows how to pick them. I could say that. He's got some real good talent that he's following in suit. But Trevor, I want to know who's a dark horse that maybe that's not in that top 10, but is maybe in that list, or someone that you see maybe this year that's going to be looking a little strong?
I think Surratt could be one of those guys that kind of had some team changes midway through the year and then kind of found a home at JCR Honda, and I think this is really his first time really fully committing to off-road.
Yes.
So it'd be interesting to see. You know, he got a podium at one of the races last year, was close to it, and Viewfinders, yeah. So it'll be cool to see, or interesting to see how he does. The Honda's kind of got some small changes for the new year too, which may help out, and with Johnny's guidance and coaching, I'm sure that'll play into his favor.
Absolutely, yeah. Johnny Campbell, very committed to his athletes, committed to his team when he's fully on, and it's really nice to have a guy. He knows how to make a motorcycle work.
Yeah. If
something's not right, he's gonna test.
Yeah.
You know, he's taught a lot of guys how to be champions, and that has transitioned down. I know all about test
Yeah.
from another man, but I know where that stems from, and that's, Johnny Campbell, and that also stems from Bruce Ogilvie. So really cool to see. I believe Surratt's going to be a real dark horse. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at the guy. He's riding a Kawasaki, maybe in that 24 range.
Guy's pretty fast.
Woo! I don't know, man. That Trevor Hunter guy.
Ooh, could do some damage.
Big damage, stepping up to the KX450. I mean, we'll see. Prairie Dog.
We'll see.
We'll see where he's at. I think we're doing good.
See what color he shows up on.
You never know. That's true.
No.
If there's a mystery color that the man's going to show up on, it could be anything, and that's huge. Definitely cool. Some team changes this year. Nothing really going on in the pits that I've seen except for Heft.
I think Heft's the big one, yeah.
Heft's the bigger one, going over to Pervine's Yamaha 450. Simpson's also going to be joining him. But I think he's riding the 450 class.
No, 250 class.
He is?
Yes.
Okay, because I know there was some talk about him riding the 450 class.
Stick in 250 class.
Okay, but that's not a bad spot for him to be in.
Yep.
So I think, we can transition into that later. But very cool to see the 450 class stacking up. I mean, we had a total. I mean, that's not the right number there. There's a few duplicates. It looks like we had over 40 guys almost last year enter the pro class at some point.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's a big class.
So I'm thinking, what are we thinking here at Delano? It's supposed to rain. We're going to get 40 guys on the gate?
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not,
Way too many.
Way too many for that track, huh?
Yeah.
No, but that would be really
it'd
cool.
It'd be cool. It'd be kind of old school, kind of how Works used to be back in its heyday, and NGPC's kind of taken over that top off-road West Coast series. So, it's cool to see it growing, and a lot of talent out there.
A lot of talent. Super cool to see where it's at. And, it's going to be an awesome 2023 450 year. I'm just going to straight up ask you, who's your pick for Delano?
Oof. I'll go Cole Martinez.
Cole Martinez.
He's the only one without a new bike, and he won there last year too, so I think it's looking good for him.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Cole Martinez, super strong rider. I'm looking at the rain in the forecast. I'm looking at the guys that have been to 6 days. They've experienced European dirt. Delano, when it gets wet, it's like European
off cambers,
dirt.
grassy hills.
I'm gonna have to go with one of the Oliveira brothers.
Can't go wrong.
You just can't go wrong. I mean, I love a lot of these guys. I'd love to see it, but when you've got experience, you've mastered that experience, and you've been racing under all kinds of conditions. I don't see how one of those guys just doesn't pull through.
Yeah, no, they're well versed and obviously they're capable.
And they're absolutely capable, absolutely. And the last question for the 450 guys is it going to be a 4-time in a row for the man, Dante?
Got to put your money on it, right? I mean,
Right.
he's won 3 in a row, and he's no signs of slowing down anytime soon. So it'd be tough to bet against him at this point.
7 wins last year.
Yeah.
We counted that wrong. Finished off the podium one time.
One time in Idaho, he got a 4th.
He got a got a 4th.
Terrible.
4th, yeah. So you can't go wrong with somebody like that.
No.
Experience to experience to the series, experience to racing in all conditions, and he knows how to go out there and do the job. So I'm gonna have to second that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a safe bet.
Safe bet. Right on. Well, we're gonna just drop this one off right now. We're gonna say thanks for listening to the 450 Pro NGPC series. Look forward to another good year. Tune in here each race weekend that we have. We're gonna be doing a little show every single weekend for the races, and make sure you guys check it out. Thank you.